I think you know all of what you need to know. I think that you don't need to do any more thinking. You don't need to do any more researching. You don't need to do any more reading. You don't need to do anything other than take action. You see, we fall into the trap of continuous thinking. But what if the continuous thinking is the very thing that's holding us back? What if we don't actually need to do more thinking, but we actually need to do less of it? You see, speed is a very powerful thing. When we're in the position that we're in, where we know all of the information that we need to know, where we're already caught up completely, when all of that is already taken care of, we just need to do one thing. We just need to act. See, my question is, what if you decided to eliminate the space, eliminate the time that you would normally spend thinking, and then substitute that with action? What would happen? What would be different? Imagine with me for a second. How different would you be? How different would life be if you took away the time that you normally take to think about things, to analyze, to think of all the possible ways of what might happen and what might go wrong and might go right? Or what if we took all of that, eliminated that, and replaced it with action? Well, first things first, you'll actually complete more. You'll be more productive and more efficient with your time than you have ever been if you actually trained yourself to stop thinking and start doing. Now, don't misunderstand this as don't think at all. Of course, that's not the case. Obviously not. But my point is, you've done enough thinking. And all that's left to do is take action. But instead, we allocate the time that we should take for action, and we allocate it to thinking. Thinking about things that we already have thought about more times than we needed to. You see, when we give time to overthink, when we take away the time that we have to take action and instead replace it with things that we've already thought about, we open up the door for feelings to come in and influence our very actions. You do know that every single feeling is stemmed from a thought. Every action is stemmed from the thought. If you backtrack everything that we do, we say, we feel, all the way back to the very beginning, it all starts with a thought. So when we allocate the time to think about things we've already thought about, we open up the gates for the feelings to come in and convince us to not do the thing that we should do. What if we actually eliminated that time block and decided, look, I'm going to move so fast that the feelings don't even have the opportunity to jump in and influence anything. Imagine that. Imagine how productive you could be. Imagine how efficient with your time you could be. Imagine how many projects you would eliminate and feel that relief of finally doing the thing. What if instead of we felt all the feelings of, man, I really don't want to do this. Man, this is going to be painful. This is going to be uncomfortable. I hate this. This is going to suck. What if we eliminated that and we actually focused on the action? We took all that extra time and we completed the action faster than we would be if we thought about it prior. What if the objective was to actually feel the feelings of completing the task, completing the project, completing whatever it is? What if we'd rather feel that instead of feeling all these negative feelings that convince us of doing everything besides doing the thing? Can we just imagine how different life would be? And since we're on the subject of imagining, what if we could actually imagine ourselves doing the thing for just 20 seconds or less? What if we imagine ourselves doing the thing, but actually, instead of plugging in the negative feeling that we will feel when we typically overthink, what if we plugged in a feeling of our choice? Wouldn't that be a game changer? You've probably heard the idea of your brain cannot distinguish between imagined reality and reality. So imagine we actually rewired our brain to stop thinking and start acting. Like, how much of a difference would that make? Like, just imagine it and get excited about it. Feel it. What would that feel like? What would that be like? And then if we can actually take certain time blocks throughout the day to actually think about, okay, if I'm going to think, I'm going to imagine the kind of outcome that I will prefer. I'm going to imagine myself doing the difficult task or doing the easy task that I don't do because I'm distracted. Imagine I just picture myself, I visualize through my own eyes, I teleport myself to another realm, and I see myself doing the thing that I dread doing normally. And I also tie some emotion to it. I feel, in this case, confident. I feel resilient. I feel enthusiastic. What if we just rewired our brain to the point where we imagine the thing that we want to do, but we don't actually feel like doing it. We plug and play the kind of emotions we desire to feel about it. We mentally rehearse, just like an athlete does. And then we reinforce that very thing that we imagined with action. An absolute game changer, I tell you. We can literally rewire our brains in a way that most of us overlook, including me. Despite how much I know about how the brain operates and how effective imagination, how effective visualization, mental rehearsal is, instead of not doing it, what if we started doing it and started taking advantage of the very thing that we have here? The gift that we were all given. It would be a game changer, a total life change. We train our minds to do the hard thing and look forward to it because we plugged in the very emotion that we would think is the most advantageous for us to feel in that given moment. So, what if we just tried this out? Let's call it a week. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens if we mentally rehearse the things that we avoid, that we know we shouldn't avoid, but we just do because we allow ourselves to overthink and open the door for the negativity to come in and poison us. In that case, the feelings stop us from moving forward. Let's just experiment. We have the most powerful thing on the earth just sitting right inside here. But many of us, including me, we don't not only discover, but we don't utilize and implement the knowledge that we have in order to change everything. So, if you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And then this is only the beginning. So if you're on the path of transformation, if you're on the path of pursuing your calling, pursuing your purpose, of being better than who you are today, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the comment, whatever you want to do, so we can meet again. Either way, I thank you, even if you don't do any of that. And I'll see you in the next video. Adios for now.